Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Don't Forget to Tap. This is Chris documenting my story through jiu-jitsu, beginning almost at the beginning, going into where I'm at today, about a year and some change into it, and just talking about the different chapters and experiences and how great jiu-jitsu is, but how frustrating it can be at times, and the fantastic people you meet along the way. So with that being said, it's been about a month since the last episode. I got to do an interview, and it's not through a lack of want to go to class, right? Everyone's got excuses, and I'll kind of get to that in a little bit, but sometimes life just gets really busy and work gets really busy, and I've been working on this project for about 9 months now, and that project went from like a weekly semi-casual ordeal to an absolutely crazy one, and there was just so much that went into it, and it actually took place last week. So it was great to see that to come full circle, go to fruition and everything, but it was one of those things with work that pretty much for the last 14 days, what it's looked like for me anyway is it wasn't uncommon to leave for work at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and not get back until 11 p.m., midnight, stuff like that. And so just really late nights, really early mornings, and just doing that very consistently and operating on like zero fuel. So fast forward, the event is over and I'm finally free and a lot of my stress is gone. But I owed myself some time on the mats, and it's something that I will tell you, 2 weeks of being off the mat, and I'm sure everybody that has done jiu-jitsu and then has had to, take a tactical pause for a minute can tell you, is you get very, very abrasive, I guess. I don't know. You get very edgy whenever you don't go to jiu-jitsu. It's weird how it's something, that is about self-defense and, just being physically fit and everything that goes into it is something that puts your mind at ease. And that's what I love about jiu-jitsu. That's what I tell everybody when they ask me how I like it and stuff. And I tell them that it's more what it does for my mind than what it does for my body. And so the last 2 weeks have definitely been very edgy. Mostly, just with like little interactions with like my coworkers and stuff. And, you always have some guilt, whenever you catch yourself being like kind of just, I guess, grouchy with people. You don't mean to be, but you are. And, then you add stress and lack of sleep on top of it. And it's just not a great pairing. So, but I got on the mat last night, and it was funny, I'm in the military, and everybody was like, we thought you deployed. And I was laughing. I was like, guys, it's been 2 weeks. And it's no different. They're just giving me a hard time. I know that, but, it's no different than, like when somebody gets an injury or something like that, and you got to take a little bit of time off. And that's just kind of part of the process sometimes, right? There's going to be other instances where I got to take a knee or sit it out. And there's going to be times where training partners have to do the same thing. But what I will say is my shoulder, taking those 2 weeks off, my shoulder, actually started feeling quite a bit better. So maybe it was kind of meant to be. Maybe it's something that ended up kind of working out in my favor, because my shoulder actually feels quite a bit better just from taking that little tactical pause. I still have physical therapy on Tuesdays for that. And, ironically, what's weird about the physical therapy aspect is they told me that I have a lot of flare-ups in my neck. I have 2 ribs on my left side out of place, which is not the side that I actually popped my ribs. I popped my ribs on my right side, so that's kind of weird. And I think that pain's correlated, but then my shoulder is doing something weird. I don't know that we've officially diagnosed what that is, but it's all part of the journey. And a lot of this, is stuff that I think. I always tell people, what I've learned, and I'm still very much a white belt, but what I've learned through the process of being a white belt is a lot of the injuries that I think white belts obtain are 100% self-inflicted. And I'm not saying anytime that you don't do like a contact sport that there's not the risk of getting injured, because there most definitely is. But I think especially at the white belt level, a lot of the pains and aches and injuries that you obtain are just from, not executing technique right, or trying to spaz out, use too much muscle where muscle wasn't needed or force wasn't needed, and it makes a huge difference. And you start to realize that as you start to kind of catch on to little bits and pieces here and there. But I caught the end of the advanced class yesterday, and I was listening, and, one of the, Professor Fabi, I don't name drop a lot, but she's incredible, and I love listening to her, and I love giving her all the shout outs I can, because I think that she's just an absolute legend to jiu-jitsu, and I wouldn't be surprised if anybody listening to this knows exactly who she is, because she's just established and broke ground on so many different fronts of jiu-jitsu. But last night I got the pleasure of catching the end of one of her speeches, and she was talking about, how basically, I'm going to summarize, but, there's these incredible coaches and professors that they're full-time, moms, and they're full-time teachers and coaches and professors and running, business owners and all these things that busy up your day, and they prioritize and make it a habit to get jiu-jitsu in and make it part of your life. And she said that, you've got to have your priorities, and it's all about the balance. And I think that that's really important. I think that's incredibly accurate. She said that, she still works on it, and that there's days that she doesn't feel like training, but seeing the students come in there gives her the energy and helps her get her balance back. And so every day you've got to fight to keep your balance. And, I think hearing that from her, because she seems like she lives, eats, breathes, and just is the epitome of jiu-jitsu to me. Like, when I look at her, that's what I think of, is just strong, fierce warrior, jiu-jitsu, just everything associated with the sport and the word success. And to see her say something like she doesn't feel like training was it caught me off guard, because I would never suspect that, because that's not the energy that she's about, and she'll never let that be the energy that she's about. She brings 100% every day, but I think that's what most people and anything that they do in life need to be able to embody, is that energy that even on the days you don't feel like it, no one would ever know. And so I think that was pretty incredible, and it just kind of realigned my priorities, my focus, my values. So, but yeah, I'm excited. At a bare minimum, my plan is to get back on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday circuit. But if all goes well, I'd like to get some Thursdays in, and when possible, get some Saturdays in as well, and just try to make the most of it. It's the ultimate goal is to be able to do jiu-jitsu every single day. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's nothing stopping me from being able to do that technically. But I still need time to recover. I still need time to rest. And there's a lot of things that I need to work out mentally for me to be able to do that. And I'm getting there, and it's part of the journey. And that's why I'm documenting it, is to kind of show the things that I'm working through. And hopefully when this is all said and finished, look back at the things I overcame. So, I will leave you guys with that. It was a great class last night. I worked on getting out of side control. Moral of the story is the basics and the fundamentals are the most important things. So at the beginning, when we do like the warm-ups with the shrimping and the bridges and everything, that's exactly what you need to be able to get out of side control. And, anybody that's done jiu-jitsu or really, I guess, kind of wrestling and has ever gotten stuck under side control, it's frustrating. It's absolutely horrible. But we learned some great techniques, a few headlock escapes, and there's multiple variations to it. Got a lot of work to do, but having a lot of fun in the journey and the process as well. So I want to take a moment to thank you guys for listening. I will start working on getting some guests. I'll be in Pensacola, Florida, training with Freedom Jiu-Jitsu, otherwise known as my White Belt Wednesdays. April 15th, the week of April 15th, and I'm super excited. It's a no-gi school, and it's just to add a little bit of flavor and learn some incredible techniques from a very, very experienced jiu-jitsu practitioner that I'm excited to get to meet and interview and train with and all the good stuff. So with that being said, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are training hard, and if all else fails, don't forget to tap.